Did you know 2 fake cops pulled off the biggest art heist in history and got away with it? At 1:24 in the morning on March 18, 1990, 2 men in police uniforms knocked on the doors of Boston's Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. They told the night guards they were responding to a disturbance call. The guards, believing they were real officers, let them right in. What happened next was an 81-minute nightmare that shocked the art world. The thieves weren't there for money or jewels. They wanted something far more valuable. 13 priceless artworks worth $500 million, including masterpieces by Vermeer and Rembrandt. But here's the chilling part. They didn't carefully remove the paintings. They cut them right out of their frames with knives. Today, those empty frames still hang on the museum walls, a haunting reminder of what was lost. Despite a $10 million reward, the case remains completely unsolved after 34 years. The largest art theft in history, and nobody knows where those masterpieces are. Did you know a group of pensioners pulled off one of Britain's biggest heists using nothing but a drill? In April 2015, London's Diamond District woke up to discover a massive hole carved through a concrete vault wall. While families celebrated Easter weekend, 4 elderly men spent 72 hours straight drilling into the Hatton Garden safe deposit. They called themselves professionals, but their average age was over 60. These so-called diamond weezers had done their homework perfectly. They disabled the alarm system, brought heavy-duty drilling equipment, and knew exactly when the building would be empty. For 3 straight days, they methodically bored through 2 meters of reinforced concrete. When police finally arrived, 200 million pounds worth of diamonds, gold, and cash had vanished. The perfect crime, except for one fatal flaw. These old-school criminals couldn't resist bragging about their success over the phone. Every conversation was recorded. Every boast became evidence. Within weeks, dramatic arrests followed and most stolen goods were recovered. Age and experience meant nothing against modern surveillance. Did you know one of Britain's biggest heists started with a security guard finding his own workplace eerily silent? November 26, 1983. Guards arrived at the Brinksmat warehouse near Heathrow Airport expecting a busy Saturday morning. Instead, they found absolute silence. What they didn't know was that robbers had inside information from a security guard's own brother-in-law. They knew exactly when the gold shipment would arrive. The execution was brutal. Robbers doused guards in gasoline and threatened to set them on fire unless they revealed vault combinations. But when the vault opened, nobody expected what they found. Instead of 3 million pounds in cash, there were 6,800 gold bars worth 26 million pounds. That's over 100 million in today's money. The theft triggered Britain's largest criminal investigation. 40,000 suspects were interviewed, yet most of the gold was never recovered. It was melted down and sold through legitimate dealers. The case spawned decades of murders as criminals fought over the massive proceeds. One heist, countless deaths. Did you know a game of football on a front lawn triggered the biggest political crisis in Canadian history? On October 10, 1970, Pierre Laporte was playing catch with his nephew outside his Montreal home. Quebec's deputy premier had no idea he was being watched. The Front de Libération de Québec had been escalating their terror campaign for months, from mailbox bombs to something far more sinister. Suddenly armed men rushed from a waiting car and dragged Laporte away in broad daylight. The ransom demands were chilling: release FLQ prisoners and deliver $500,000 in gold bars. Prime Minister Trudeau's response was unprecedented. For the first time in peacetime, he invoked the War Measures Act. Civil liberties vanished overnight. Police arrested 465 people without warrants. Soldiers patrolled the streets while authorities searched desperately for Laporte. Then came the devastating discovery. His body was found strangled in a car trunk. The October crisis was over, but it had permanently fractured Canadian politics and transformed Quebec separatism forever. Did you know Britain's most trusted family doctor was secretly its deadliest serial killer? On September 7, 1998, police arrived at Dr. Harold Shipman's practice in Hyde, England. A local funeral director had reported something disturbing about the elderly patients dying under his care. For 23 years, this respected physician had been killing his patients during routine house calls. His method was chillingly simple: a lethal injection of morphine, then falsified death certificates listing natural causes. He targeted isolated elderly women who trusted him completely. The investigation revealed a shocking pattern. The death rate in his practice was 40% higher than other local doctors. While families mourned, Shipman forged victims' wills, stealing £386,000. Everyone saw him as a caring healer making compassionate house visits. The truth was far more sinister. At trial, he was convicted of 15 murders, but evidence suggested at least 250 total victims. In 2004, he hanged himself in prison, taking his full secrets to the grave. Did you know the Nazis created the most sophisticated counterfeiting operation in history using prisoners as their weapons? In 1942, SS officer Bernhard Kruger walked into Hitler's office carrying perfect British pound notes. Operation Bernhard was born. The Nazis rounded up 142 skilled Jewish forgers and locked them in Sachsenhausen concentration camp. Their choice was simple: create flawless counterfeits or die. These prisoners became criminal masterminds under threat of execution. They analyzed British paper fiber by fiber, recreated complex watermarks, and even aged bills by washing them in coffee. The operation was staggering. They produced 130 million pounds, worth over $6 billion today. The goal? Destroy Britain's entire economy by flooding it with fake money. British intelligence only discovered the plot when perfect counterfeits appeared in Swiss banks. But here's the twist. As the war ended, their German overseer led the forgers to safety. The same man who threatened their lives became their savior. Their death sentence had become their salvation. Did you know the world's most famous art theft happened because no one noticed for 28 hours? On August 22, 1911, workers at the Louvre discovered something shocking. The Mona Lisa's frame was completely empty. But here's the crazy part. An Italian handyman named Vincenzo Peruggia had simply walked out the day before with the priceless painting tucked under his arm. He'd hidden in a supply closet overnight, then strolled past security like nothing happened. For over a day, thousands of visitors walked past the empty space. Nobody said a word. When officials finally realized what happened, panic set in. An international manhunt began immediately, but Peruggia was already long gone. For 2 entire years, he kept the world's most famous painting hidden under his bed in a tiny Paris apartment. The media frenzy made the Mona Lisa more famous than ever before. In 1913, Peruggia finally made his mistake. He tried selling it to an Italian art dealer. The dealer called police instead, leading to his arrest and the painting's triumphant return to France. Did you know a 16-year-old boy walked into Pan Am and convinced them he was a pilot? In 1964, Frank Abagnale strolled into a Pan Am office with nothing but confidence and a fake story. He claimed to be a deadheading pilot who needed a uniform replacement. They handed him an official pilot uniform without question. Over the next few years, he flew over 1 million miles on 250 flights across 26 countries, all completely free. His secret? He studied airplane manuals obsessively, memorizing every piece of pilot terminology. Crew members and ground staff never suspected a thing. But then Frank discovered something even more valuable during those flights. He started studying the company's payroll check designs, learning every security feature. Soon he was forging checks with stunning accuracy. What started as free flights escalated into stealing $2.5 million through check fraud. The FBI finally caught him in France after years of hunting. But here's the twist. They hired him as their youngest consultant ever to catch other con artists. The master deceiver became their secret weapon.